on Twitch and YouTube, stay with me. We are going to have to get this done on the fly, unfortunately, because these are the tools that I am left with for this evening. So, about as good as it gets for right now. Excuse me. All right, let me put this onto here. Okay, of course, there's always going to be one hiccup on here. Pardon me, this is going to take a little bit longer to get this taken care of, so stand by. We are getting there. Unfortunately, things like this have a habit of happening, so let me get this done here. Okay. Yes, I do. Thank you. All right. Almost there, so stay tuned. Sources connected. I got all that taken care of, so off we go. At least I hope anyway. We'll see. And yes, I am talking to myself again. This does happen every once in a while. Okay, and go ahead and roll this. And see what happens. All right, countdown has commenced. We're going to be getting this taken care of here in just a little bit. If you're on Twitch and YouTube, welcome to the show. We're adding Facebook here coming up in just a little bit, so stay tuned for more. It is supposed to be a possibility of a stormy night out there, so we do have a good need to make certain that we are paying attention to what's going on with the weather for this evening, so definitely want to stay tuned. And make sure you got batteries in your weather radio, things like that. Make certain that you've got, again, the possibility of your power going out. Make certain that you've got, again, the ability to charge your stuff before you get into if and when the power does, in fact, go out. We want to make certain that that is pretty much ready to go just in case. All right, we are almost there, so stay tuned. And everything works. Here we go. All right. Okay, and there we go. All right, we are live after that minute intro there. Thanks to everybody for sticking around for tonight so we could bring you the latest weather information and, again, give you an idea as to what is happening for tonight. There is a good possibility of some severe weather, especially to our west for this evening. So definitely want to make certain that you are ready to go when it comes to anything happening, just to make certain you're ready to go with things like your phone being charged, everything else ready. Your weather radio, if you have that, get a fresh battery in it, make certain it's plugged in, ready to receive alerts from the National Weather Service. What kind of severe weather are we talking about? Well, we'll get into that coming up here in just a little bit. If you've never been here before, welcome to the show. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onick, giving you an update as to what's going on with the forecast. This is our however long it takes weather blog. We usually try to go about 20 minutes, somewhere in there, maybe 30, depending on how much information is needed. And thanks to everybody for tuning in for this. If you have questions about the forecast, drop them into the comments section. We'd love to see. If you just want to say hello and where you're from, that's great. This is your opportunity, the viewer, to take a look and see what is going on. If you have questions about things, we'll do our best to answer as many of those as we possibly can. Thanks a lot again to our sponsor, right hand or left hand side of the page, your left, my right. Thanks to Epicos, our new sponsor, comics, cards, and games. Thank you very much for being a sponsor, for the first sponsor we've had for Weather Overtime. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors tonight, but thank you, the viewer, for stopping by and keeping track as to what's going on. All right, that's enough intros for now. Let's go ahead and jump into it and show you more about what is happening. Good news from earlier today. We picked up more rain today than we have in basically, if I'm not mistaken, the last 2 to 3 months, somewhere in there. Maybe a little bit less than that, but it did knock us down on the rainfall deficit to 7 inches below for the year. So we still need 7¼ inches just to get up above normal, and we have not been there since somewhere around February or March. So it's been a while for that, and we're still behind for the month by about an inch and a half, give or take, somewhere in there. So we could really use that extra rainfall, which is just not coming our way. We've got a diminishing line of storms coming on through. What's left of the activity from earlier tonight, and this is relatively good news, but it's also a little bit misleading in the sense that we do have the potential of some more problems into overnight. So if you have, again, anything in the way of travel in the morning, that is going to be a bit of a problem out there. So definitely want to think about getting up a little early as we get things going for Wednesday morning. Now, what you're looking at from left to right, this is the line of storms that was moving in from out west. Some of these were tornadic, decent long time ago, about maybe 4 or 5 hours or so. Notice that these storms, as they move into northeastern Alabama, northwest Georgia, right across the state line, there's not that much left of them, and the rain now just making its way into western and southwestern Hamilton County around Chattanooga. So there's not much going on right now. So that, again, is very good news. But there is the potential of more activity overnight, and we see, again, a lot of activity going on with these storms back to around the Mississippi Valley, around Memphis. Active tornado warnings, tornadoes reported on the ground near Forest City, Arkansas, and then crossing the Mississippi River down to southeast Arkansas into west central areas of Mississippi. Now, we also have a couple of watches in effect. We do not have anything. The time right now, just coming up on 5 minutes before 10 o'clock. We have no watches in effect for the area. Watch is a fairly big area, if you don't know this. A fairly large area where the National Severe Storms Forecast Center says a potential of severe weather exists. And that's what we see back here. We've got some active tornado warnings flashing in red back toward the Mississippi Valley around Memphis. The dark red patch is the tornado watch, which is in effect until 10 o'clock Central Time for areas west of the river, and it looks like east of the river too. Okay, so that'll be expiring here in about another hour or so. But for the News 12 viewing area, there is nothing specific going on at this point. We have no watches or warnings at this point. And as I said earlier, with radar, barely any rainfall taking place. Let's take a look at live radar and give you an idea as to what we're seeing inbound for tonight. First of all, this line of what were former storms coming on through. The heaviest rainfall as of just before 10 o'clock Eastern Time on Tuesday, just to the south of Chattanooga and moving across the Alabama-Georgia line, heading to the east about 25 miles per hour or so. In the last few minutes, there was a severe thunderstorm watch for Grundy, Sequatchie, and Bledsoe counties, excuse me, in Tennessee. Those have been canceled. So good news again that things are calming down. Not exactly a surprise because these storms, as they get farther to the east, they're moving from more unstable air into more stable air. So they are losing their punch. They're losing a lot of their severity. There's not much left of these things compared to what they were earlier tonight. So what we've got is leftover showers and thunderstorms taking place, and that is really about it. But there is still going to be the potential of some stronger weather coming up. Now, we'll take a look at the mesoscale discussions in just a bit, and what that is the Storm Prediction Center looking at areas downstream and seeing what may be heading our direction. So right now, it's very decently quiet, and here's hoping again that it stays that way for later on tonight. Temperatures right before the top of the hour. It is a beautiful evening across the region. We've got numbers in the 60s primarily, not anywhere close to the 90s over the last couple of days, but we are heading into that time of the year. It was very pleasant today with numbers back into the 70s and close to the lower 80s, as you saw on the almanac page. Just really not that much taking place again for right now in the way of very cool weather, but that's going to be changing into the next several days as we see the potential of more rain kind of cooling things off. The map is showing that area of low pressure, again, moving into that moisture-rich environment right across the area of the Mississippi Delta and the southeast United States. Tornado watches back into around the mid-south and down toward the Gulf Coast. This is where we will see the bulk of the activity in the next few hours. Now, so far, it does not look like the Storm Prediction Center is going to be issuing anything in the way of new advisories. There's nothing coming up according to them, so we do have the potential of some activity overnight, hopefully not too much, but this is something that, again, we need to be prepared for, and that's why you need to have that weather radio ready to go. Now, once this system clears the area, that'll be heading across the southeast United States and leaving. That will give us our end to the possibility of severe weather, but that will also usher in some different changes coming on through. Let's walk you through the forecast and give you an idea as to what's going on. I'll give the computer a little time to catch up here. The storm system, again, moves its way over to the northeast and should be by early Wednesday morning north of us, pushing most of the heavier rainfall and thunderstorms back over to the east. And then after that into Wednesday afternoon and evening, there could be some residual showers out there, maybe a rumble of thunder, but not much more than that. And then that system moves out. High pressure moves in, cools us off, dries us out. But notice again this large cold front that is left behind all the way back to the Rio Grande and New Mexico. Area of low pressure will be developing around that area of the Rio Grande and then scooting its way back over to the east. And as it does, it's going to be like the last system that moved on through. It's going to stir up more chances of showers and thunderstorms, and that will be moving in by Friday night. Most of this energy, instead of going north, will be dropping south of us, so it could keep, again, some cooler temperatures here, but also more chances of showers and thunderstorms moving out and to the east coast. And after that, we've got some very nice conditions coming on through as we go into the weekend. So we'll talk more about that in just a little bit on the 7-day forecast. But overall, not doing too terrible. And again, for any outdoor activities, could be a bit of a problem for the next couple of days off and on. We'll be watching this with a lot of interest as we go into the area. Dorothy Jacobson from Charleston, Tennessee, welcome to the show. Thanks for checking in on Weather Overtime on Facebook. Forgot to mention we are on Twitch and our YouTube channel as well, if you'd prefer to watch on there. We're trying to get a few other things shaped up so we can go live on TikTok, but TikTok has been giving us quite a bit of headaches, so that may not be happening anytime soon. This forecast from the Storm Prediction Center, let's take a look and see how old this particular forecast is, because these forecasts come out about once every 6 hours, give or take. All right, this is the brand new forecast that we have here right now, so this is only about an hour and a half to 2 hours old. What this means is that the best focus for severe weather will be well back to our west. That is where we will see the worst activity taking place. Memphis, Jackson, Mississippi, Little Rock, up to close to Branson, Missouri, down towards Shreveport. That'll be the worst of the worst activity, and that again will be the possibility of hail, maybe tornadoes, damaging winds, things like that. Now, we see the potential for some severe weather, less from a Category 3 and enhanced threat on the 3 out of 5 scale, diminishing to a 2 out of 5 yellow polygon. That's a slight risk, and the darker green that you see there is a 1 out of 5 marginal threat. So going from west to east, things calm down by just a little bit, and we'll see a new forecast update from the Storm Prediction Center, but that won't come out until about 2 o'clock in the morning. So right now, that's the best forecast that we have to offer. We'll look ahead and go into the next couple of days. Wednesday, we'll see the pale green color is just thunderstorm possible, and that will be into the early part of Wednesday. Some lingering showers after that. Marginal threat northeast and southwest of us, but that should not be causing us any problems. And then for Thursday, clearer skies, dry conditions, much more palatable out there into there. But don't forget, we have another system coming in after that. So for tonight, best possibility of severe weather will be damaging winds, the main threat, and a secondary threat of large hail. So that will be the worst of the worst. Now, you can never say anything in the way of 0% chance of any severe weather threat. It's just that these are what the models are telling us is the best potential. So we could wind up with 0 tornadoes whatsoever, which is great. Hopefully we don't get any of those things, because those are very dangerous and we want to stay away from those as much as possible. But there is still a non-zero chance of tornadoes, and then a fairly non-zero chance of flash flooding. So we'll see all the threat modes in play, but the best possibility from this will be damaging winds. It got a little gusty last night as those storms rolled through, and also, again, the potential for large hail. That is also going to be a threat. Donna Weir-Williams from Knoxville, welcome to the show on Facebook. Thank you very much for checking in there. And again, to everybody else, if you don't want to tune in on Facebook, tune in on our YouTube channel and or our Twitch channel as well. If you'd like to find me on there, might be easier for you to watch at that location. Again, we're trying to get settled on a whole bunch of different platforms to give you, the viewer, better choice as to where and when you might want to tune in and where you want to get your weather details from. Now, over the next about, say, a couple of days, chances of rain, we've reached a bit of a lull through Wednesday night into Thursday. Not much happens there. And then going into Thursday night into Friday, that is where we may see another possibility of some more rainfall. So going even farther, again, this particular rain shower possibility may be close to 3 inches of rain from this particular storm for northwest Georgia and northeast Alabama. Less so back to the north, but we need every raindrop we can possibly get. So by Friday, late morning, early afternoon, we start seeing more chances of rain coming through. Not much there. And then by Monday next, we see even more chances of rain as we go into around the beginning portions of next week. So all of this is strictly necessary to lower the wildfire danger, to give the agricultural community a bit of a boost. We need all of this going on. So for outdoor activities, you may want to look at the forecast often, because a lot of things are going to change in the course of the next several days. Looking at the potential for a bit of a downturn in the temperatures as well. No heat waves in our future. The Climate Prediction Center is showing the potential of some much cooler conditions, at least going down below normal as we get into the early part of May. Considering where we could be at this time of the year with temperatures blazing hot, 90s, even triple digits can be possible in this area of the country at this time of the year. Not seeing that happening, and glad to have that as some good news out there. So, excuse me, a good opportunity to for that particular situation. Let's take a look at the forecast for everybody on the 7-day. The view from Island Cove Marina and Resorts. Highway traffic on Tennessee 58. Not too many people out on the waters tonight. There were a bunch of vessels out there earlier on in the last several hours as people were out having some very nice times today before the rain started moving in. So, for the next couple of days, temperatures tomorrow will be quite mild. We'll be looking at numbers again back in the lower 80s, lower 70s for International Jazz Day on Thursday. For Friday, back in the mid to high 60s and mid 60s possible as we get into and around about into Saturday. So warming up after that, numbers quite pleasant, not seeing any major cool downs, although back into Sunday we could be showing the potential of, again, some pretty chilly numbers early Sunday morning, heading off to church or Sunday school or wherever you may be going. A little bit less windy with that next chance of rain, bit of a gap, and then the next chance of rain late Monday, very late Monday into early next Tuesday. So comfortable overall. No sign of any winter weather, and after tonight, no sign of any severe weather. So I think we're doing pretty good on the forecast for right now. We'll get through the chances of showers and thunderstorms for this evening and Wednesday, and then that should do it for the next at least couple of days. So you do have some opportunities to get out and about. So definitely some good news again on that. What do we have next here? I think we skipped over the picture, so let's get back to that real quick. Let me see, what did I do with that? There we go. All right, our weather picture of the day. Did not get the birding merit badge in Boy Scouts, so did not know exactly what this was. For a moment, I thought this was an Oriole, but it's not. According to News 12 viewer Linda from Decatur, Tennessee, this is what is called a scarlet tanner. Learn something new every day. So thank you very much, Miss Linda from Decatur, Tennessee, for our submission for our HEP heating weather window picture of the day. Really appreciate everybody sending in those pictures. And again, if you have pictures, we would love to see what you are seeing out there. So all you have to do is send them in to us at pictures@WDEF.com by email, drop into our social media pages, or go to our weather window headquarters at WDEF.com/photos. Again, send these to this particular address. For some reason, when people send them directly to me, they get hung up in the spam filter, and I don't know why. We're trying to fix that. But in the meantime, if you're going to email stuff to us picture-wise, please do so at this email address. That'll get you through the spam filter, and that'll help to keep everything moving along. So thanks to everybody for sending in those pictures. So for tonight, and this was sort of a unique circumstance because, as we've said before, we weren't able to do weather overtime all that much in the last couple of weeks because of gremlins that kept popping up. So thanks to everybody for going back for a repeat performance on here to give us the opportunity to tell you a little bit more about our project. On Fridays, we take the pictures, plural, of the week, and we let you know more about what is going on, for what's happening, for pictures out there, and then you get to choose your favorite for the week. And we let that poll stay up through the weekend so that we can see who's voting on it on Monday afternoon. Well, Monday evening rolled around. I took a look at the graphic that you see here, and it was goose eggs on the vote all the way around. So somewhere, somehow, some gremlin someplace erased all of our data, and we weren't able to bring you the poll because nobody won and technically nobody lost. But we put the poll back up again, and for the last 24 hours, it gave folks like you a chance to vote on things. And the clear winner this time around was Angel Alicia from Signal Mountain, a picture of a rainbow on Signal Mountain with a bunch of clouds in the background. If you've got a smartphone and you want to send something in, you can use the QR code there. It's on our website as well. And thanking our new sponsor for the weather poll, Williams Plumbing Services, redefining the standard. Thank you very much for becoming our new sponsor for the weather poll page. We'll have a new poll tonight going up at midnight at WDEF.com/vote now if you would like to vote in our poll, and we'll have some interesting questions through the rest of the week, so please consider voting on that. And all the other polls, we have news polls, sports polls, our chat show, Let's Chat at 10 o'clock on weekday mornings. something to think about. So again, please give us a shout on there. If you've never been in severe weather before, it can be a little intimidating. So please go to the website of the National Weather Service in Morristown. They cover a part of the News 12 viewing area, and they help people stay safe. And you would like to get some information about how to deal with severe weather anxiety, please do so, because this is a great way to learn from the experts at NOAA and the National Weather Service about severe weather and what it's all about. And that way you can be better prepared for things. I grew up in Kansas, so I experienced every single type of severe weather that there was. The only things we didn't experience in my lifetime there was a sandstorm and a hurricane. Everything else, you name it, well, avalanche, probably not too much there, but that was quite growing up experience with weather, so I get used to a lot of this stuff. That's one of the things that I love about being a meteorologist, is learning about these things. But maybe you don't like severe weather and you'd like to learn more about how to handle it a little bit better. This is a great opportunity for kids. A lot of kids would like to get more control over what feels like an uncontrollable situation. So if you'd like to help your kids, your grandkids, learn a little bit more about severe weather, go to weather.gov/MRX. It's a good opportunity to learn about what NOAA does. They do not just talk about climate change. That's a very mistaken opinion. And again, your opportunity to learn from the experts out there so you can be ready for the next severe weather bout that may move through. Keep in mind that right now we are in the peak month for severe weather. April for this area of the country, Chattanooga and the surrounding counties, are the period of time where we get the most weather out there. And that's why it's so important to be ready, especially at this time of the year. If you don't have one of these, get one. Go out tomorrow when you're shopping. They're available at hardware stores, department stores. Sometimes if you look around in the grocery store section, you might see one someplace, pick them up. Usually a model like this will run you about 40 to 50 bucks. That is a very good price for a piece of equipment that could save your life. So if you would like to learn more about this, very easy to do so. All you have to do is go to the weather section of the News 12 website. We have a video that teaches you how to program this. This is not just a radio anymore. It's like a computer with a radio attached to it. You program in the counties you want listed on there. So if you would like to be informed for, say, Hamilton County and nothing else, that's fine. You can program in Hamilton County and then ignore the warnings, will ignore the code for anything else coming through. If you want to be informed for anything and everything but Hamilton County, you can also do that, but you don't have to be woken up in the middle of the night for blizzard warnings in Michigan or anything in the way of a real flood warnings into the county next door, if you don't want to. So if you would like to get that taken care of, these things, again, are lifesavers. Every home, every school, every place of work, every place of worship should have one of these weather radios. So if you haven't had a chance to get one, look around. They're out there, and they are lifesavers. So get them and make certain you have them charged and ready to go for tonight, just in case we see any possibility of severe weather out there. Your phone can get severe weather warnings, but it's always great to have multiple backups, and this will link you directly to the National Weather Service. So something, again, to consider and make certain that you are safe out there. Keeping an eye on things like that. I can't count how many models of these that I've had over the years that I have had to replace because they got used so much, or just because of the fact that I misplaced them, but they're worth it, and they will keep you updated, and that's one of the best things that you can possibly do. I think that's going to do it for tonight. No comments on YouTube, none showing up on Twitch for this evening, so I think we'll go ahead and call it quits. It's 15 past 10 o'clock our time, Eastern time, so we will get you back to your regular Tuesday evening shift and give you an idea as to what is going on into the area. El Haas, after moving from West Tennessee, good to see a friendly face. Thank you very much for the very nice comments. Say hello to your 89-year young mom for me. Thanks a lot. Nice to be able to see folks from the old neighborhood back around the Mississippi River. Thank you very much for the hello there. Nice to see folks checking in from way back when. If you got any questions about things, again, please throw me an email. The email address at the bottom of your screen, way down below the social media banner, aonic@wdef.com. If you'd like to watch anything, again, around, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube. Eventually, maybe we might be on TikTok. I don't know. It depends on what actually happens on that. In the meantime, you can watch us on there. And once again, an incredibly big thank you to our brand new sponsor, Epicos Comics, Cards, and Games. Free Comic Book Day is coming up this Saturday, so drop by, drop a few bucks, support your local comic book store. It's local marketing, it's local business. It's a good way to support your local brick and mortar stores. If we don't use them, we're going to lose them. So don't order anything offline. Go to your comic book store, make some new friends, make some new acquaintances, learn about the different titles coming up. I'd like to get some die from Dungeons and Dragons. If I can find a 100-sided die, need to talk to somebody who's a mathematician to see if I can use that to roll a forecast and then see how accurate it is compared to the numbers that actually come up. So we'll see how well that turns out in the next few days and weeks. But again, Free Comic Book Day coming up this Saturday. That should do it for tonight. Chip Chapman will have your forecast in the morning, including updates on any storms that turn strong to severe. I'll be here throughout the rest of the evening, depending on what happens. If they start issuing more watches, we'll be here on the late side, so definitely want to keep it tuned to News 12 for more details on that. Live and direct from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee, this has been the Tuesday evening edition of Epicos-sponsored Weather Overtime. Thanks for joining us. Keep it tuned to News 12 on air and online, and Chip Chapman will have your forecast bright and early on Wednesday morning.